Welcome to Park Bench Interviews, hosted by Randy Goodman, Harvey Callis Real Estate, your real estate professional. Get to know our community, our businesses, products, and services that will elevate your life. Please welcome your hostess, Randy Goodman.
Hey everybody, it's Randy Goodman here from Harvey Callis Real Estate, and I'm here with Cheryl Frydman, who is a music instructor, and she's also a food and beverage manager, and I'll let her tell us a little bit more about this, but you're probably wondering why we're actually in the same room and there's no line dividing us, is because we are actually beside each other, because we are living together. Yay. So we're allowed to be beside each other. So no complaints.
No, I don't want to hear that.
So Cheryl, welcome. Thank you for being on with me. I'm happy to chat with you and find out a little bit more about you.
Cool. So
tell me,
yeah.
First of all, what do you do?
So right now, I'm a food and beverage manager at a retirement residence. So what that consists of is getting to know the residents and learning their dietary restrictions, making sure that they're safe technically based on their diets, and making sure that my team is on board with all the information. So based on that, I have a team of around 13.
Okay.
So 13 individuals, and they're all great. They all work really well together, so that's awesome. I actually didn't intend to be in this industry.
Okay.
I was just
first
working.
Tell us more about what you're doing, and then we'll get to like how did you get there afterwards. So
Sorry. The excitement.
So okay, so you're working at a retirement home, but you also are.
I'm also a music teacher.
Yeah.
So I teach music on the side, kind of, because that's a passion. Been doing that since I was little, not teaching but playing music with my family, father, etc. Come from music family, done school for it, did the whole shebang, and now I actually work at a school called Max Music Academy. It's in Richmond Hill also. So I do that, and I teach vocal lessons there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really fun, especially since like it ranges from like 9-year-olds to 50, 60-year-olds.
Wow.
That I teach. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing instruments?
I've been singing since I was probably, I don't even know, like 5 years old.
Wow.
And I picked up the guitar like 2 years ago.
Right.
So I picked up the guitar 2 years ago, and I started teaching myself because I figured I want to start working in the industry a little bit more and meet people.
Yeah.
So I used to go to open mics and things like that in Richmond and help host them.
Right.
For like York Region open mic and things like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then I just picked up a guitar, and my dad and mother bought me one for my birthday.
Okay.
And then I just started playing it, and it didn't stop. And also piano, but that was kind of a forced talent.
Right.
But
I think we're all forced to play piano.
Every parent makes their child learn piano. You know, it's like if you learn piano, you're gonna be the best. And I'm like, okay.
Well, there is a high correlation between piano and math.
Yeah, so. No, there is. And unfortunately, I'm not good at math. But
it didn't work, Mom and Dad.
No, it didn't.
Okay. We tried, but
did.
Didn't work.
Good try.
So tell us about what did you actually study? Like, what did you think you were going to do?
So I actually first started off in psychology at York University. So leaving high school, I did all that whole academic shebang with the chemistry, with the math, with everything, even though I was not good at math, but I still figured it out.
Right.
It was a lot of studying. I did not like it. And then I ended up realizing that I really do enjoy like the minds, like people's minds and like human nature and understanding and things. Right. And then I went to school. I did that, and then I was convinced that
Kitty.
I was convinced that that was going to be my my long-term career and go to for medicine and stuff. And then I realized that it would be a little too stressful for me.
Okay.
And I wanted to keep it more as a hobby, just for myself, not
Right.
so much as like an income, because I felt like I might lose the actual joy of it
Okay.
if I did pursue it, and it would make me go crazy, like
Right,
so
right.
stressful.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to George Brown. For hospitality tourism, and then I minored in event planning.
Okay.
So I did that, and that was really fun.
Okay.
Because I got to learn culinary, I got to learn planning, I got to learn more about myself that I didn't even know.
Right.
And honestly, it's such a good school. Like, it's probably one of the best schools I've ever been to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
really
there's
cool.
a plug for you.
Yeah. George Brown. Culinary. Yeah, so that was really cool. And then I realized that I want to be in the hospitality industry. I want to be head on, front of the house, taking care of people, making sure everybody's getting what they want when they want it. And I had the personality for it, so I was like, okay, cool, this is gonna be fun.
Right.
It was challenging, very, very challenging at first, but then I was just like, okay, like this is a breeze in the park.
Right.
And then I ended up while I was in school, bartending and things, so got more experience in hospitality.
Right.
And of course, bartending, you just have to constantly talk to people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you're doing psychology, because all they do is talk about their problems.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, thanks for coming to me. Now your bill is. But yeah,
the end
no.
of our therapy
Yeah.
session for today.
Yeah. It's $150.
There you go.
But yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. So I got to use both, I guess, expertise
Right.
in a sense. So that was pretty cool. And then I realized that I wanted to move into management.
Okay.
And cater towards more of a career instead of just a job.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
So I was hitting a certain age too, where I was just like, okay, like I'm not just gonna mess around and keep working at bars and clubs and stuff anymore.
Right. Right.
Plus didn't want to stay up till 3 a.m.
Right.
So did that, and then went to Seneca for it's kind of like a hospitality and hotel management course.
Okay.
So I got to learn like restaurant management, hotel management, all those things. So it wasn't just like the hands-on experience, it was more like the textbook experience as well.
Yep.
So that was cool. And I got to work with some pretty cool professors who like run banquet halls, run hotels, do all those things. So I got to learn a bit more about the industry.
Right.
And then from there, I got it was kind of in direction of a career for a restaurant. And they put me as a district manager for the 5 locations.
Okay.
So, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, and this restaurant was like a high-end Portuguese restaurant. It was really nice. People were great. But then I realized that I didn't really want to be working 70 hours a week.
It's crazy.
You know, like it's
restaurants
nuts.
Are
restaurants are crazy. See, like I'd love to do that for my own.
Right.
But to work for somebody else doing stuff like that can get a little hectic.
Yeah.
Because you can't really use what you think is correct and make it what you want, essentially, even though you think it'll work. But follow the rules, right?
Exactly.
The best you can. So I tried that. I did that for a while. That was really good. And then I had like some personal things, and then I took a leave for about like 3-4 months. And then I just applied online on Indeed for a retirement residence position for food and beverage. Okay. Never worked in the retirement industry in my life. Right. Ever. But I've always had a soft spot for like the elderly. Right. I always want to like take care of them and make sure that they're okay and like make them laugh and like listen to their stories, because that's all they do. They sit there and talk to you for like 3 hours about their whole life because they have so much to say. Yeah. But it's really cool because they're super wise. They're extremely wise. So we learn a lot from each other. And then I had this interview at the retirement residence at Delmanor, and then like a week later, I got the phone call being like, "Hey, we would like you to come work for us." And I was just like, I was shell shocked, because I was just like, wow, like I've never done this before. I can't even believe that they even like thought, considered you. Yeah, I was just like, this is crazy. Yeah. So then I went in, and then I realized that this is definitely something I want to do for the rest of my life. Oh wow. So it was pretty cool that like after everything for literally like 8 years, 9 years of like running around, like trying to figure out and doing all these jobs, all this
Right.
schooling, all these things, that this is something that like I really, really want to do.
You found a niche.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And I still get to play music for them, so that's even better. Yeah.
But you still teach
And I still
outside of
teach.
that, so
Yeah.
you're a hardworking person.
Yeah, so I still teach once a week at the music school. Right now I have about nine students.
Wow.
Obviously would like to have more throughout the week, but kind of hard considering that I have a full-time job.
Right.
So at least keep up with that. Actually, some of my students are the kids of some of the residents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I met them, and like they're like daughters in like their like 40s or whatever, want to learn how to sing.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then became personal and wanted to learn how to sing some things. So I said, okay, sure.
Yeah.
They love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I
That's
love it.
awesome.
It's great.
So it's nice that you're able to, work a full-time job from what, from experiences that you've had and schooling that you've had.
For sure.
And also be able to help people with something you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I still am pretty passionate about what I'm doing at the retirement home. I wasn't sure at first.
Right.
But as I kept going with it, it became more of like a passion and like an understanding. Things that like I learned about me too. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
But it's awesome because you're also getting other experiences there as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Tons.
Like it's kind of evolved.
Tons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of going back to school for it. Well, I am going back to school for it. So it's interesting how like you don't necessarily know what's gonna happen.
Right.
And then it just kind of all settles in for you at like a certain time. But it all happens at once. You're just like, whoa. Thank you. Yeah.
Trying to handle it all together.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching your music students, and I'm not talking about during COVID or anything, but just normally, are you doing it at your home, at their home? Where are you
I
teaching
do it at the
them?
music school.
Okay.
So I do it at Max Music Academy.
Okay.
So we do it there, and it's one-on-one sessions. Okay. So it's private sessions, either 30, 45 to an hour. Depending on what they can do, because a lot of the kids have other extracurriculars, right? So they can only do 30, 45 minutes, or else they're going to fall asleep. I don't want that. Right. I want them to actually enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much fun. Like we sit around the piano. I teach them theory. I teach them mainly like breathing techniques and things like that, which can be utilized in so many other ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like for other reasons, like for every day, like if
to calm yourself,
anxiety, anything, right? So it's important. Yoga, all of it, right? So so there's a lot of correlation between it all, and then we work on songs together. Like I give them the choice to pick a song, but then we also work with theory as well.
Okay,
so
perfect.
I still give them the opportunity to make the class what they choose to. Right. So it's not just fully controlled by me, or else they're not going to have fun.
Right.
Yeah, because I didn't like that. I used to take vocal lessons, and I didn't like my teacher telling me exactly what to do all the time. I was just like, but I don't want to sing this. It sucks. Like, it's not fun. Like, so, it's like a 50-50.
Yeah, and I did the same thing. Like, when I was growing up, I had to do it this way. It was a certain way. I had to practice for an hour every day. It was like, and I really didn't enjoy the experience.
No.
So for my kids, I had them taking piano at a young age, of course. And I played piano for so long, right? And so I had them taking it, but we wanted it to be fun. The first teacher wasn't so much fun. She was more the typical, structured, pianist. Do what I tell you to do kind of person. She came to the house because we had 4 kids. So, she could just spend 2 hours there. But then we hired one who was fun, and they got to play what they wanted to play, and they really loved it. And the kids still play, like, even though it's like, 15, 20 years later, they still sit down at the piano and they love to play. And so I totally, jive with what you're saying, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to keep doing it.
Why?
Like, I hardly ever touch the piano.
Yeah, because you had a not necessarily the best experience with it. right?
Yeah,
It's
I
all
mean, I
from the
learned a
get-go.
lot.
Oh, for
and,
sure.
And I was pretty good at it at one point, but don't ask me to play any of those songs. I don't remember them, right? I would
Yeah.
actually have to relearn them all. So
Yeah,
I love that you're teaching people,
I love
you
it.
know, the way they enjoy learning so that they want to keep doing it in
Yeah.
the future, you know?
Yay.
Yeah. Whether it's guitar or singing or
Whatever.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's a good rule of thumb, unless they're like going to be a concert pianist or something,
Who knows?
right? You know, you know.
Mozart in the making.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for sharing all of that, Cheryl, with us.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for
So
letting me talk about it.
Of course.
That's cool.
Is there any way that people can get a hold of you or reach out to you if they wanted to contact you?
Yeah. If you want to get to know anything about music, for example, can go on maxmusicacademy.com and get in contact with either myself or with him, and can always ask any questions that they'd like about any of the music, or if anybody would like to just talk about anything in the retirement industry or whatnot. I have my information all on the Delmanor website. And I also do have my own personal Instagram. If anyone ever wants it, it's Cheryl Lynn on Instagram. It's literally it.
Okay.
So,
well, we'll have your contact links on the page.
Yeah.
And
that's
people
basically
can get a hold of you if they want. So if you want to learn more about music and that, or if you have any questions about, you know, her career, then please get in touch with her. But Cheryl is living in Mill Pond right now, so she's a part of our community and always happy to help people. So thank you for being on and sharing with us.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you for listening to this interview hosted by Randy Goodman. We hope you will take action and connect with the incredible business people and leaders in our community. And remember, Randy is always here to answer any questions you have regarding your real estate needs. Be sure to register on the website and stay up to date on what's happening in your area at parkbench.com/millpond.